Welcome back to Fascinating History. Today we'll travel back in time to the age of the Ottoman Sultans. Today we embark on a riveting journey into the depths of Ottoman history, unearthing the enigma of what the Sultans did to their wives, a chapter seldom spoken of. In the time when the Ottoman Empire reigned supreme, it was a time when luxury met power, and behind the palace walls whispered tales of love, betrayal, and treacherous secrets unfolded. Brace yourselves, for behind the grandeur and elegance of the empire lay a world of secrets and mysteries that will leave you both shocked and intrigued. So, what untold horrors and intrigues transpired within the harem's concealed chambers, and how did these unspeakable deeds shape the destiny of empires? Stick around and you'll find out. Also, comment down below what other empires in history you would like us to cover. Harem Politics and Rivalries. In the opulent world of the Ottoman Empire, hidden behind the grandeur of palaces and royal ceremonies, lay a secretive and complex institution that shaped the destinies of many: the harem. But don't be fooled by the images of luxury and splendor. Within these walls, unspeakable dramas unfolded. Picture a secluded oasis within the palace walls, known as the harem, where the Sultan's wives, concubines, and female relatives dwell. Its purpose was to protect the virtue and privacy of these women. But it was also a cauldron of intrigue, ambition, and cutthroat competition. Rivalries in the harem were like a high-stakes game, where the ultimate prize was the coveted position of the Sultan's favorite, or the mother of the heir to the throne. The intensity of this competition could ignite fires of jealousy, manipulation, and power struggles among the women. Those who failed to win the Sultan's heart might find themselves isolated, humiliated, or stripped of their privileges. Some harem women became masterful politicians to navigate this treacherous terrain and elevate their status. They forged alliances, conspired against their rivals, and maneuvered through a labyrinth of intrigue. But here's the catch. The consequences of these machinations could be dire. A sultan's suspicion or distrust could lead to exile, imprisonment, or even execution for those caught in the web of palace politics. Now, there was another layer to this drama: the eunuchs and servants who served as gatekeepers to the harem. These individuals held the keys to influence, acting as intermediaries between the sultan and the women of the harem. This power allowed them to fan the flames of rivalry and manipulate the dynamics within, all to their advantage. Concubinage and Slavery. In the opulent world of the Ottoman Empire, there existed a deeply ingrained and enigmatic system known as concubinage. It was within the confines of the Grand Harem that the Sultan held sway over a vast array of women, including concubines. These women occupied a unique space between the Sultan's wives and regular enslaved people. The paths that led them to the harem were diverse. Some arrived as gifts, others as tribute, and yet some were even prisoners of war. Once within the palace walls, their destinies were forever entwined with the prospect of becoming mothers to the Sultan's heirs. Yet, their lives were far from the romanticized tales of luxury and intrigue often associated with harems. In reality, these concubines had limited personal freedom and agency. The Sultan's every whim bound their existence, and their world was confined to the opulent but gilded cage of the palace. While a select few managed to ascend to positions of influence, many others were essentially living a life akin to that of enslaved people. They were seen as the Sultan's property, with minimal control over their destinies, even down to the most fundamental aspect of their lives, whether or not to bear the Sultan's children. This intricate practice mirrors the larger institution of slavery in the Ottoman Empire. Slavery was integral to Ottoman society. A complex web ensnared individuals from diverse backgrounds and regions. While a fortunate few might rise to positions of trust and authority, the vast majority remained in the shadow of servitude. The existence of concubinage and slavery within the Ottoman Empire serves as a poignant reminder of the complex and hierarchical nature of the harem system. Although some women enjoyed privileges and the possibility of advancement, many found themselves trapped in circumstances that can only be described as oppressive and dehumanizing. It's crucial to understand that the treatment of concubines and enslaved people was not monolithic. It varied widely, influenced by the character of individual sultans. Some rulers displayed compassion and leniency, while others were more authoritarian. Moreover, the harem system transformed over time, with the status and roles of concubines shifting in tandem with evolving political and cultural norms. Nevertheless, the historical legacy of concubinage and slavery in the Ottoman Empire remains provocative and contentious, a stark reflection of the intricate interplay of power, gender, and social dynamics. Punishment and exile. In the Ottoman harem, a grim reality existed: the punishment and exile of wives. This practice wasn't a constant thread woven throughout the empire's history. It ebbed and flowed with the whims of individual rulers. It was a tool influenced by the sultan's circumstances, the threats perceived within the harem, and the ever-shifting sands of politics. Within the harem's mysterious confines, there was a place known as the ikinci harem, or second harem. It was a dark, shadowy corner where sultans wielded their authority to suppress any inkling of rebellion or conspiracy. If you were a wife or a concubine suspected of disloyalty or falling out of favor, your fate could be exiled to this ominous realm. Picture the anguish of these women, forcibly cut off from the outside world, their families, and even their children. It was a punishment cut deeper than the sharpest blade, in emotional devastation that knew no bounds. Life within the second harem was a nightmare of strict surveillance, limited social interactions, and a constant cloud of uncertainty. These exiled women lived in perpetual fear of further punishment, even death. The harem was not immune to palace intrigues and power struggles. It was a place where secrets whispered like the wind, and loyalty was as fragile as glass. But there was more to this cruel practice than met the eye. It held a grander purpose, a political dimension. Exiling a wife wasn't merely about personal revenge, it was a message to all within the harem and the court. It shouted the sultan's authority from the rooftops, warning others not to challenge his rule. It was a calculated move to maintain order and stability within the empire, even if it meant sacrificing the happiness and freedom of individuals. Forced separation from children. Picture a grand harem filled with beautiful women, all vying for the sultan's attention. But amidst this sea of ambition and desire, a cruel and calculated practice emerged: the forced separation of mothers from their children. The anguish of these mothers as they were torn away from their beloved offspring is unimaginable. These women, carefully chosen for their beauty and intelligence, had entered the harem with dreams of securing a prosperous future for their children. Yet their dreams often remained just that: dreams. Political intrigue and competition were the name of the game inside the harem. Loyalty to the sultan clashed with the powerful instinct to nurture and protect their little ones. It was a heart-wrenching dilemma. Now, let's shift our focus to the innocent souls caught in this web of palace politics. The children. They were born within the harem's confines and faced a unique and challenging upbringing. Instead of the warmth of their mother's embrace, they were raised by eunuchs and female attendants. These children grew up in a controlled and competitive environment devoid of the tender love and guidance every child deserves. It's a scenario that could leave a lasting mark on anyone. Emotional detachment and insecurity became companions for these children, thanks to the absence of maternal love and support. Harem Assassinations. Behind the grandeur of the palace walls, where opulence met secrecy, harem assassinations were carried out for reasons that ranged from political intrigue to the most human of emotions: jealousy and suspicion. In the cutthroat competition of the harem, where countless women vied for the sultan's favor, rivalries ran high. Sometimes, these rivalries escalated to a dangerous point where certain wives or concubines became perceived threats to the sultan's power. To maintain their authority and quash potential conspiracies, sultans took a chilling step. They ordered the elimination of these perceived threats. But it wasn't just politics at play. Love and jealousy knew no bounds, even within the palace's walls. Sultans, despite their immense power, were still human beings. When suspicions of infidelity or disloyalty arose, the consequences were dire. A sultan, consumed by rage and betrayal, might order the assassination of his wife or concubine as a brutal means to resolve the matter. Here's the kicker. These assassinations weren't carried out in broad daylight. They were shrouded in secrecy, hidden within the harem's walls. This secrecy was crucial to avoid scandal, preserving the reputation and stability of the mighty Ottoman Empire. As a result, the exact number of harem assassinations and the nitty-gritty details are veiled in historical obscurity, leaving historians grappling with a challenging task: piecing together a comprehensive account of these dark and clandestine events. So, do you agree that the Ottoman Sultans were brutal to their wives? And what other unspeakable thing have you heard about the Ottoman Sultans? Please let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and share. Also, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on the latest uploads on the channel. As always, see you in the following video.